Hello everyone, very good evening. Once again, welcome back to another session, Python interview preparation here. So to begin with, yes, we have certain things, where we are trying to merge, concatenate, right? And we have seen different ways of writing the code, setting up the option, changing the format, suppressing the scientific notations. Right, in the similar fashion now, today we have to understand few more things with the data here. So Bharat, if at all we want to write a pandas program to split the data frame into groups.
Yes.
Okay, based on the first column and set the other column values as is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just give you the data set. Okay. So you want to group them based on, it's your choice now. Okay. Yeah. One minute. I have given wrong. Yeah, here you go with the data set.
Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Could you please confirm?
Yeah, it's there.
All right. So here I have my data set as is. Okay, I'll just this is going to be my data frame. I'll run them. In case we get some warning or something like that, that is because of pandas and numpy. You don't have to worry about it. Right here, I will say print data frame. Okay. So this is my original data frame. And then I will say result is equal to df dot. I'm using a group by function here. Okay, I will say group by okay, and then I will create. And then after this, I will be using a lambda function as well. say PDF dot building. Dot details. Okay. And now if I print the results, okay, let me make these changes. Just change these. Okay, I have this. I'll just put this in one, what do you call, one cell. Yeah, that will be better. Okay. Now if I run this, let me run this. Okay. So what we did is we have split the data frame into groups, and we also looked at the first column and the set, okay, of the values. This is how we can group by these columns, and I'm also using a lambda function. Deepti, do you want me to do the other way, or will this be fine?
Dipti, you're on mute. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Astush. So we are splitting the data frame into different groups, right? We are setting the other
Correct.
column values into a list of values.
Yes.
That is what is there. So here, okay, thank you, Bharat. So now we have something, we have been talking about pandas, right? We have selecting the data, and you have to slice your dice, your data, panda series data or data frame. So here, Python and the numpy indexing operators, whatever you're talking, the attribute operator, we say it is a dot operator. It will provide quick and easy access to the data structures across, so many use cases here. So rows and columns, they're having indexes. And the access labeling information in pandas objects, they give so much of information to us. Right, so it will automatically explicit, or they do data alignment. Okay, whatever we want to do, it's very easy. So if I would like to do certain changes with the indexing, what are the various ways to do that, Ashutosh?
Yeah, Dipti, hi, and good evening, everyone. Yeah. So we are basically going to talk about the how do we do the indexing in the pandas. And pandas, as we all know that it is a library that is being used in Python when we are trying to deal with the data manipulation, right? So when we talk about indexing in pandas, it in simple terms, I can say it is selecting particular rows and columns of data from a data frame. So indexing could mean selecting all the rows and some of the columns, or some of the rows and all of the columns, or some of each of the rows or the columns. So depending upon what you want to do. As in, if I were to say, you are having a mix of categorical data. as well as, the numerical data. And you want to perform something on, say, on categorical data. So instead of choosing the whole data set, we can make the use of indexing. We can choose the index values where those particular columns are, which is containing the, the categorical data, and we can proceed with our analysis. Now, when we talk about pandas indexing, there are a lot of ways to pull the elements, rows, and columns from a data frame. There are some indexing methods in pandas which help in getting an element from a data frame. These indexing methods appear very similar, but when we talk about their, working, it is quite different. And coming again to pandas, there are, pandas is supporting 4 types of multi-axis indexing. So one is your data frame. So this particular function, data frame, is also known as your indexing operator. Then we have data frame.loc, LOC in the sense of location. Now, this is particularly used for labels when we are trying to deal with the labels. We also have data frame.ilog, index location. Now, this function is used for positions or, integer based kind of. And then you have data frame.ix. This function is used for both label and integer. So collectively, these are called as your indexes. And these are, by far the most common ways to index the data. So these are the 4 functions which are helping in, getting the elements, rows, and columns from a data. Yeah, deeply. I hope that answers it.
Yes. So data frame is something, whenever you want to slice or dice your data, you're using ith location, or you're using .loc, or you're using ix, right? So these are all called as indexers, as you told. Yes, exactly. So you're handling with these 4 different functions to get either the retrieve rows, columns from the data frame. Okay, Bharat. So, Bharat, we know that there are a lot of type conversions in Python, and the process of converting a Python data type into another data type is a type conversion. Right? We also, we know something like, implicit type conversion or explicit type conversion we have, where, when you want to do certain changes during compilation, when you want to change the data type, conversion has to take place during compilation or during the runtime. Then you say that it is an implicit type conversion. So Python handles implicit, correct? Is that anything wrong? Correct, right? So
that is correct.
Yet, so then what is that we say is explicit conversion is nothing but your typecasting. The other name for this is typecasting. So it takes place when explicitly you are defining something in the program, whether you want to convert something into set, something into dictionary, something into hexadecimal string or octal string. We call them as, we are doing explicit. So type conversion is a process of converting one data type to another data type.
Yes, that is correct.
So when you are trying to do this, and explicit type conversion is also known as typecasting. And
that is right.
It is performed by our Python interpreter, right? So now can you explain me few certain functions, where we can do typecasting on the data? Need not execute just orally, it's good enough.
Okay, fine. So like you said, there are different types of functions for us to convert the data types, or this is specific to pandas. Okay, if I do, there are few functions where I can manipulate with. There is a function called as to_numeric followed by your parenthesis. What that function does is it converts the non-numeric type to a numeric data type. Okay, and then you also have AS type. Okay, what AS type followed by parenthesis, this is a function. What it does is it converts any data type to any other data type, whichever data type you specify, it will convert. It can also convert into a categorical data type. That is what AS type does. And then you can also convert the data frame. How can you do that? You use a function called as convert underscore D types followed by parenthesis. This will allow you to convert the data frame to the best data type. And then you also have something called as infer underscore objects. Okay. What it does is it allows you to convert an object column holding your Python objects to the pandas type. Okay, these are few functions that I can come up with in terms of typecasting using pandas.
Okay. So whenever it's nothing but typecasting, like maybe we can say that you want to convert even a character type, right, into a factor data, or yeah, as you said, no, series can be counted into a data frame, right? So which is helping us to an array can be counted into a series can be counted into a data frame, right? So when we talk about character data, then Ashutosh, if we have to work with strings, okay, when I give you a data set which is totally a collection of certain things, where you have name, region, location, and color is what I have just shared with you.
Okay.
Right? I want you to work with the data and you just print the output, and then I'll tell you the questions what you have to do, like task to do. Let's run the code.
Yeah, Deepti, there you go.
Okay, there you have favorite color, certain spaces are there. Right? So my first question to you is, remove those white spaces in pandas. How do you do that?
So we can remove the additional white spaces from the text in the pandas, because pandas come with the front and the back method to remove white spaces from this. But in the above data, especially in the favorite color, columns will be using your dot strip method to remove the white spaces from both sides. So that is what I'm going to use over here. So I will just say dear and favorite is equal to dear and I told you I'll be using dot strip function, right? So dot str dot strip. And I'm going to print my D. Yeah, there you go, Deepti.
Yeah, okay.
So
strip method in Python is removing, it's truncates the given characters. That's the default behavior is that, it has to remove the white spaces from the beginning and the end of the string. Okay. Continuing with the same, Ashutosh.
Yeah.
You have to replace the text, already available text using pandas. The same data frame. You have a column called region, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can do certain changes to that.
So what is happening over here is, in our data frame. So as we can also, we have a column named region, right? Which has the word region in it, which seems unnecessary. So now I'm going to use your string replace method to, replace that. Let me show you. So here I'm saying here and region is equal to df region dot str dot replace. And as I said yesterday, Python is all about using the English along with the logic. So you have to make your brain work. So if I were to say someone in English that I want to replace something, definitely I will use the word replace, right? So the same logic goes over here, right? So that is the thing, a little bit of logic and English, that is it. And practice. Practice is also needed. So region and your spaces. And I'm printing the yeah, there you go. The region has been replaced over here.
Okay, with spaces. Region is
Yeah, with
gone
the
and it's
spaces.
replaced with what spaces?
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
So replace function.
these region that you are seeing over here, here there is region, here there is region, here there is region. I mean, it was making no sense for our analysis, right? That is
Okay.
why we tried to replace that with this spaces. And now here, if you observe, there's only A, B, C, and that is. So that is how your replaces.
Okay. Yeah. So, Bharat, can you just explain me what is this time series means with respect to pandas?
Okay. See, it is said that in pandas, time series is considered to be a source of knowledge. Okay, where you have strategies that are delivered. That is, in fact, they are you have strategies implemented in the variety of organization. In fact, all of the industries, which includes a lot of information about time from the traditional financial business to the educational industry. Okay, so what is happening here is when we do a machine learning, in fact, when we use a machine learning to build a model, when you use a model in time series data in order to predict the future values, this flow is considered to be a time series forecasting.
Okay.
Okay, this is implemented in all across the industries. You pick any of the industry. It is considered to be, like I said, to the key source of knowledge.
And I would like to add over here, guys, whenever we are dealing with the time series data, we are only having one variable in time series. So this thing you should understand. So whenever we are dealing with a time series, you have only one variable. Why? That is it. Yeah, Bharat, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So whenever we are dealing with any machine learning, right, we are trying to find out the time series data. Now, it's something, the most important point you need to focus when it is time series data is whether the data is volatile or it is not volatile. And the most important point we need to focus when you are working with this data with respect to any manipulations you are doing also, the concept of what we are doing is we are forecasting future with the time series data. So it is something, the data is fluctuating so much, then you cannot do anything with that particular data. So you need to find out or make the data stationary. So every time series data has got different components where we need pandas to make the data stationary. So The point here is that to check whether your data is having, any trend or any seasonality, certain concepts of time series data where, every prediction or every particular output is dependent on time factor here. And that is something what, we should always think of. Okay, with respect to time series data. So, yeah, then when we are talking about any pandas time series like Bharat has explained, so whatever we are trying to do with the data, right, it is there will be some connection between one another, right? It is nothing but this time series data structures. Earlier they used to say that it is a date time native. Now it was efficient with respect to numpy, but now it became more efficient. Pandas, people are working with pandas, and everything revolves around the date functionalities here. So like yesterday, Ashutosh has showed how to print today's date. Now you have date and time, right? So you can also do indexing with it. So pandas contains very, very good capabilities and features to work with time series data for all the domains. Adding to that, you have even numpy, right? And pandas has a consolidated features from many other libraries, like you have scikit-time series data. It's a huge number of functionalities are available for manipulating time series data, right? Pandas supports parsing the time series information, whether it is any type of source you have or any type of format you have. And it can also generate fixed frequency dates. And you have to generate 10 dates fixed. You can do it. You can manipulate, you can also convert them with different time zones. Okay, so we can also convert the time series into a particular frequency. We can also perform some kind of time mathematics with absolute and relative time increments. So pandas captures 4 general time related concepts here. One is date times, time deltas, time spans, and date offsets. Right? So where you have different types here, date time 64, time delta 64, time spans period, date offsets is data offset. So these are certain functionalities what you can perform on pandas with respect to on time series data using pandas. It is a date functionality. Okay, so to be more specific, we are focusing on every library one after the other. So maybe there will be a combo also sometimes. So that's it for today, friends, and thank you all for joining in. More questions to go the next session. Thank you all for joining. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and happy learning, friends.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.